Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil Lamont.
And I'm Donna Hick, and thanks for joining us.
Well, that debate over what government should do for the river will no doubt continue, but there are things we can do to help as well.
You could call it a grassroots movement. It's how we treat our grass that could affect pollution levels in the river. With algae blooms already showing up in the St. Johns this year, as you heard, organic fertilizers are now getting more attention. At first glance, it looks like a view from space, but this is the St. Johns last year at the height of an algae bloom that left a blanket of stench over much of the city. It's the result of too much nitrogen in the water. Discharge from industry is part of the problem, but unfortunately, so are we.
This is all our problem, and part of the reason we're having this problem is because there are almost 4 million of us live in this watershed, and the Water Management District tells us by 2025, less than 20 years, there'll be 6 million of us living here.
That's a lot of lawns that need fertilizer to stay green.
You see an advertisement, you think, well, more is better. That's just kind of the American way. You know, think about what you're doing. When you apply anything, be it fertilizer, herbicides, pesticides, all of that goes to the river.
But there are things you can do to reduce the nitrogen you put into the river. Organic fertilizers are becoming more and more popular.
We have water insoluble nitrogen, which means that it's slow release and does not break down upon the initial contact with water. So therefore, that does not cause any groundwater contamination.
Tom Sewell concedes his GRO-WELL fertilizer may cost a bit more than those with synthetic chemicals, up to 40% more in fact, but he says you don't need to use it as often.
It stays in the soil and conditions your soil while it fertilizes, so it's a better value in the long run.
Another perk, Sewell says, your grass gets greener, but without the chemical boost, it doesn't grow as fast, meaning less time behind the mower. The big perk, though, it isn't toxic.
It's good for the planet and good for the environment, and you're not polluting any groundwater, any rivers, any streams, any lakes, and that's really, ultimately, you're doing something good for the earth.
And good for the river. The Riverkeeper has a number of tips on being river friendly, including the organic fertilizer. One is to create a no grass buffer on the edge of your lawn to reduce runoff into the river.